Okay, so my remarks are going to be much more brief, since we've been doing this so many times now.
So,
and I know that you have a lot to cover today, so.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a message from Tim.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Right, but it still takes about a minute to activate on Facebook once he presses that button. Okay. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Here we are, gathered again virtually during a difficult time, doing what we do best, supporting each other in good times and hard times, finding hope when things feel a little hopeless. We're so glad to be with you via Facebook Live to keep that sense of social connectedness despite our social distance. It's nice to be with you today. Ask you to just please be patient with any technical bumps. We've done this a few times and we haven't had any issues, but as soon as I say that, today will be the day. So just bear with us. It's quite a feat to bring multiple people together across multiple time zones and multiple continents via webcam to bring such valuable information to you, and it's really going to be worth it. You know, so this whole experience is about gratitude and it's about fortitude. It's going on much longer than I think any of us anticipated, and we are expecting it to continue to go on, that we will be in our homes caring for our beautiful children. We hope you're all doing well. We're all doing well at rettsyndrome.org. And we know that the daily care without breaks for school and day programs and you being your child's therapist will take its toll on all of us. So Dr. Meir Lotan is with us today to talk about keeping ourselves healthy, as well as demonstrating some more techniques for our kids. So I just want to start, before I turn the camera over to Dr. Lotan and our children, to applaud you all for continuing to stay at home, be well during this time, continue great practices of washing hands and cleaning surfaces and maintaining social distancing. I know that you and myself are even more appreciative of the rest of the world continuing these practices. And we hope that they'll emerge with some really good habits that will keep our children healthy during every cold and flu season moving forward. So we do have the strength and the wherewithal to make through this. You will survive this cabin fever. Hopefully you'll come away with some great ideas of ways to pass the time together in a healthy way. And we know that life will continue again. Rettsyndrome.org remains committed to research and medical care, our two-pronged mission of supporting families. Our Chief Science Officer, Dominique Prichard, wanted me to assure you that she's still staying in constant contact with our researchers and medical experts. If you've noticed, yesterday we posted a new update from our medical advisory team, and if you visit our website, you can see that new update from the US perspective for our families with Rett syndrome, as well as some other updates. We do encourage you to please call your doctor's office directly if you have any concerns about your child, and whether you should go into the office or you can arrange a telemedicine visit. That's really been successful for so many families. So again, we know that many of your spring events have been postponed. We appreciate all the effort that you put in to planning those hours of events and for your support. And we appreciate your reimagining and rescheduling those events soon. As a nonprofit, it's difficult times for all of us to keep things going. So if you like what you're hearing today and you'd like to make a donation on live on $10, $20 of any kind through our Facebook page or online through our website, I'll share in the chat a text message where you can text in a donation. That would be greatly appreciated to allow us to continue this great work. Okay. We're going to continue with empowering families, and with these live sessions, we are able to do so because of the 2020 educational programming support that we received from Greenwich Biosciences and Acadia Pharmaceuticals and Neuron Pharmaceuticals. We are glad they made that commitment to us before these times changed. It's enabling us to stay with you throughout all of this. So I think we have so much to cover today that I'd like to just go ahead and reintroduce our wonderful world-renowned expert physical therapist, Dr. Meir Lotan, who has written so many papers and published books and treated over 600 children with Rett syndrome directly, hands-on. He really knows what he's talking about, and he has a lot of good information to share with us today. So thank you again for being with us, Dr. Lotan, in this evening time from Israel. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get started.
Yeah, thank you, Paige. Thank you for letting me have this experience and also this privilege of doing some good in these hard times. Okay, so I'll just start. Okay.
Let's get started. Yeah.
Okay. So hi everyone. Hi everyone who is watching this video, and I would like to start with a presentation. And we're going to talk, this is the second presentation that talks about activities you can do with your child with Rett syndrome, and this is take two. So before seeing the families that we're going to see today, I wanted to say some general words about the princesses with Rett syndrome. Okay, we know that girls with Rett syndrome dislike movement, and this is due to sensory issues because the proprioceptive system, the deep sensory system, is not very clear to the girls with Rett syndrome. So and when they try to do anything, it doesn't succeed each time because of the apraxia and ataxia. So girls with Rett syndrome don't like to be moved a lot and don't like to work very hard. And the other part of girls with Rett syndrome is that they are very good character readers. Okay, they know who is standing against them or who they can work with to get as less movement as possible. And I want to tell you a story with one of the kids that I was working with. She doesn't like to work a lot, and one of the exercises that we do during the physical therapy session is walking with the walker that she has at home. And I'm telling her, we have a video on the living room table, and I'm telling her, go to the table so you can see the video up close and get some rest. And she has a caregiver at home as well, and this caregiver is very lenient, and she knows that she can play with this caregiver, and mostly when the caregiver is asking her to walk or to do something, she's complaining and does not go along with the demands. So I'm working with her in the living room, and the caregiver was in the kitchen, and she was walking very nicely. So I called the caregiver to show her what the child can do. And immediately as the caregiver went into the living room, the child stopped walking and started complaining. So just to keep the caregiver in this same place that she would wants her to be in, which is helping her and seeing her difficulties. And it's very natural because parents and caregiver, we want to protect our children. We want them, we have a good heart. We want them to not to suffer. So girls with Rett syndrome can really read if you will demand things of them, and or will you ask them to, or will you leave them alone because they are complaining and seem that they don't want to work a lot. But the outcome of this is the child is very passive, and if you have to lift the child who is very passive and not helping you, then this creates heavy loads on the parents. Okay, so I want to show you a quotation by Dr. Andreas Rett, and this is from
virtually every Rett
a
child can
conference that
stand
was held
and
in
many
Vienna.
can walk with a fair degree of support. So every opportunity must be taken to encourage active movement.
And I don't know if you heard what he said, but he said that Dr. Rett said that every opportunity should be taken to encourage active movement. So I would like to emphasize what he said and also share with you a book that I'm reading at this point in time. It's a book about dynamic system approach. I know it's a bit academic, but still I want to read to you 3 lines. Okay, according to the dynamic system approach, developmental milestones, such as walking, for instance, do not simply appear as the result of genetic timetable. Milestones are patterns or solutions that are dynamically constructed and adjusted throughout development. These solutions to various environmental challenges involve drawing upon many different skill sets within the developing child, proprioception, balance, strength, motor planning, etc. They also involve practicing and refining those skills in various combinations until they can be successfully combined into a new skill set. So we know that girls with Rett syndrome have MECP2, okay? They have the gene restriction of Rett syndrome. But if you look at the blue line on the left side, it is for us to decide if the child ability will be in this lower section of the gene restriction, or if we can work with the child and she can be at her upper ability, at her most ability in regards to the gene restriction. So the fact that they have Rett syndrome does not mean that there is nothing to do. On the contrary, it means that the more we do, then the more we get the child to function at a higher ability. So what can we do? So first of all, we need to keep the child as active as possible, as Dr. Andreas Rett said, and I fully support. We need to get her fitness up as much as possible. We need to give her sensory support. Most of all, we need to tell her how great she was when being active. I mean, this is something I do with every girl with Rett syndrome that I treat, okay? At the end of each session, during the session as well, but the end of each session, I tell the girl that she was amazing. Let's take Amit that you saw last week, for instance. At the end of the session, I tell her, Amit, you were amazing. You stood with your back against the wall. Part of it you did by yourself, and it was very nice. Then we walked to the mattress, and you raised your legs very nicely. And then we got to the mattress, and you very actively relaxed your muscles, because she has very severe dystonia, and one of the parts of the physiotherapy with Amit is to get her muscles to relax and not just being activated without any relation to what she needs to do. And then you sat on the vestibular plate, and it was amazing. And part of this sitting that you did was completely independent, and I didn't hold you, and you were doing it by yourself. And she's very proud of this. So we can say to the girl with Rett syndrome that she is having a very hard time and it's very difficult, but we can say, we know it's difficult, but look at what you did despite those difficulties that you have. And another thing to do is use the emotional emotional behavior of girls with Rett syndrome. Since they like other people and they like connection with other people, it's very important that we share the things that she did with others. For instance, Amit's mother is always sending out pictures of Amit to the teacher, to the caregivers, to family members, and every one of them is always telling Amit how wonderful she is when she's active, how good she is. And this makes Amit very proud of her behaviors, of her activities, and she's trying to do her best all the time. Okay, so tell the girl, we know it's difficult, but we know she can do better, or she can do her best, and make sure that everyone knows what she has done, and she will be, and give her good feedback, so she's becoming very proud of being active and not just focusing on what's difficult and what she can't do. Another thing to do is to avoid drills. I mean, it's okay to go up and down the stairs, but it doesn't mean anything to the girl with Rett syndrome. But if she's going up or down the stairs to go to school, or to meet friends, or to meet grandma and grandpa, then suddenly going up and down the stairs becomes something that she wants to do because she gets rewarded for doing it. Okay, we can use motivational factors like, walking around the house is no fun, but walking to the shower to have a bath is great. Walking to the kitchen to eat is great. Walking to the living room to see a video is great, because now I understand why I have to walk, because at the end of each walk, I have this rewarding motivational factor that I'm looking for. So you can use motivational factors. You can use all kinds of distractions. For instance, walking on a treadmill is boring. But if you're walking on a treadmill and at the same time you see your tablet with your favorite movie on, then suddenly walking on a treadmill becomes something that you want to do each day because you see this video that you like. And the last thing, and I think this is why, another reason why we're having those sessions on Zoom, is to insert movement to daily situation. I mean, some of the parents that I know think that if they have physical therapy once or twice a day, that's once or twice a week, that's enough. But it's not, because once or twice a week is a drop in the ocean. So if you can insert movement into daily situation, like I said before, walking throughout the house, going out to the mall, going out to to walk in nature, go up and down the stairs, get up from the chair or sit down on the chair every time that the meal is over, and not just carry the child on your hands, then she's much more active than if she's doing 2 sessions a week or 3 even sessions a week of physiotherapy, and the rest of the time she's just sitting in the stroller. She can watch television while sitting on the sofa, but she can also watch television while standing in the standing frame. So always look for the uppermost ability of the child and ask her to be at that point. Now, the thing about being at home now with the child, and in most families, caregivers are not allowed to come home, then actually it means that you have to do a lot of caregiving. So some of the families have asked about what they can do to prevent back pain. And so I will be talking about steps you can do to prevent your back from becoming sore. But I want us to look together at this YouTube video where they talk about the structure of the spine.
You might not realise it, but people who work in a childcare setting are at risk of back injury. Think about it. Many of the tasks you perform involve moving or handling some kind of load, whether it be a child, chair, or piece of play equipment. What you may not know is that if you don't follow the principles of moving and handling, these tasks could present you with a significant risk of back and other musculoskeletal injuries. It may also mean a loss of income and further back problems later in life. For your employer, colleagues and the children, it could mean loss of experienced staff, changes to work schedules.
Yeah, I don't think on Facebook they're able to see the video. So if you can switch your screen, you can start over. Sorry for the interruption. But
No,
I know
it says, please move this window away from the shared application. So I don't know what it means. Maybe I can. Maybe I can open it.
there we go. No, I'm seeing your slides.
No, but I want to show the video and.
Right. Sorry, this is what we've said, everyone. Please be patient with us while we work through the technical multimedia challenges we have here. We'll get there. Let's see. I wish I had some suggestions for you.
See if. I think maybe from here it will be.
You might not realise it, but people who work in a childcare setting are at risk of back injury. Think about it.
Click share.
What you may not know is that if you don't follow the principles of moving and handling, these tasks
Yes. You see it now?
could present you with a significant risk of back and other musculoskeletal injuries. It may also mean a loss of income and further back problems later in life. For your employer, colleagues and the children, it could mean loss of experienced staff, changes to work schedules, loss of continuity, and increased workload. So investing a little time in back care has many benefits. Most importantly, it will keep you fit enough to enjoy your job and other interests. In this video, we will show you how the spine works, introduce you to the causes of back pain, and describe how you can move and handle loads more safely. So that you understand how and where back injuries occur, you need to know about the different parts of the spine and what they do. The spine starts just below the back of your head and travels down to the coccyx or tailbone. It's made up of 5 sections and consists of 33 bones, known as vertebrae, which provide support for the body. 9 of those vertebrae are fused together into 2 solid sections, the sacrum and the coccyx. Each vertebra has a hole through it that helps create a channel down which the body's main nerves travel. This bundle of nerves is known as the spinal cord. At each vertebral level, there is a pair of nerve roots. Between the vertebrae are tough pads called discs. They allow the spine to bend and act as shock absorbers. Discs have a very strong outer layer and a gel center. Your discs are very strong, but if they're overloaded, worn or damaged, they can bulge or split, causing the soft central part to protrude into the space where the spinal cord and nerve roots are. This is sometimes known as a slipped or prolapsed disc. The escaped bulge of gel may press on the nerve root, causing pain. This is known as a trapped nerve. Many ligaments and muscles attach to the back of the spine. The ligaments provide stability and the muscles power for movement. Damage to these structures, such as overstretching or poor posture, can also result in pain. The natural curves in your spine distribute body weight and stress during movement. The lumbar region, or the lower back, is made up of 5 sturdy vertebrae. These are designed to carry most of the weight of your upper body and provide a stable center of gravity when you move. However, this is also a vulnerable zone, as the vertebrae and discs are exposed to both weight of your upper body and any load you might be lifting. Pain in this area can be particularly debilitating. So a healthy spine is designed to be flexible, but damage to its structures can cause pain. The proven causes of back pain are heavy work, twisting and bending, working in a stooped posture, prolonged sitting, and stress. In the childcare setting, heavy work can be defined as sustained periods of strenuous effort. Examples could be frequent lifting of heavy equipment or a long session of cleaning. The key issues are obviously the size of the load and the length of time that your back is under pressure. The area of the back that suffers most under heavy work is the lumbar or lower back region. Aspects of childcare work mean that you'll sometimes find yourself in a situation where twisting or bending seems necessary. Twisting tends to happen when you're lifting a load in a restricted space, while most of us would bend over to pick up objects from the ground without bending our knees. Both can cause lasting damage to the spine and muscles. Many of the back problems that childcare workers experience are caused by stooping or stretching frequently, or for staying in one of these positions for long periods. What happens is your center of gravity moves away from the base of the spine when you bend forwards. This increases the load on the spine. Even the weight of your body can be enough to cause injury in these cases. Prolonged sitting flattens the curves in the spine, squashing the discs between your vertebrae on one side. Though some chairs are designed to support your lumbar region, even these cannot protect your back fully. Standing badly can also add to stress on the spine. It can stretch or distort the muscles attached to your vertebrae, causing ligament or muscle tears and other damage. Stress is one reason why we sometimes stand and move in unnatural ways. When we are uptight, we usually hunch up our shoulders and poke our heads forward. This puts strain on our necks and backs, which can cause pain. It also stops blood flowing through our muscles, causing waste products to build up and making us feel tired and uncomfortable. We have probably all been guilty of bending, twisting, and stooping in our work. Fortunately, these postural positions can be avoided, which is essential given that each can build to chronic conditions. Childcare workers typically have to do many tasks that involve moving and handling. For example, you might have to reach down and pick up children from the floor, or move heavy pieces of equipment from one part of the nursery to the other. Do you ever think about how you use
Okay, so we have seen. Okay, we have seen the structure of the spine. So now we can talk about lifting techniques for parents. So first we talk about some basic rules. Okay, the first basic rule is to stay in shape. I mean, a strong body, strong set of muscles, a healthy person with a strong body can stand more stress than a body which is not very trained. And when we talk about stay in shape, I want to emphasize to work on abdominal muscles, especially on this muscle. This muscle is called transverse transverse abdominis. It's a muscle that, as you can see, goes from the back across the stomach and to the other side, and therefore it actually works as a back belt. When this muscle is contracting, it actually pushes all the intestine backwards towards the spine and actually gives it some support. The way that you can start working with this muscle is if you lie on your back, you lie supine, and you actually tuck your muscle in. When you tuck the muscle, your belly inside, then this means that the transverse abdominis is actually working. Now, the moment you got the hang of it, the moment you understand how this muscle works, you can actually work with it when in lying position, when in sitting, when driving the car, when watching television, when walking and running. So you can actually start an activity program for this muscle. And when you try to lift your child, then it's very important that the first thing that you do would be to activate this muscle and get this pressure on the spine from within. Just a word of caution, this muscle doesn't know how to work very strongly. So if you start a very intensive program, you're going to get, your back is going to hurt. So if you want to work with the transverse abdominis, then it's very much recommended that you start very slowly, like one session of 10 stretches of the muscle a day, like 10 times push the muscle inside for 10 seconds. This is like the basic training element, okay? And gradually you go up to 2 sessions like this a day and 3 sessions and more, so your muscle gets active and trained, and then it protects your back. Another thing is to use appropriate equipment. If you need to change clothes to your child, then you should do it by using high surfaces, so you don't just lean over the child and standing with your back rounded towards the child, and using hoists and all kinds of lifting devices. But maybe the most important thing also for you and the child is to let the child be as active as possible. I mean, girls with Rett syndrome are smart. If you tell your child that you need help and you need her to stand up so you can avoid pain in your back, I think that most girls will do as much as they can to help us. And if the child is active, it's better for her because she is active and not passive, and it's better for your back because you don't have to do all the job by yourself. So let's talk about specific lifting techniques. So the first thing to do is to keep your legs apart. If your legs are apart, you have a wide base of support, and this means that your trunk muscles don't need to keep your balance a lot. So there's less stress on your back muscles, and therefore they work less, and there's less chance that you'll have a back pain. Another very important thing is to squat down at the knees, because then you activate gluteus maximus, which is the buttocks muscle, and quadriceps, which is the big leg muscles. And those big muscles are very well equipped. They're very strong muscles, and they're very, very well equipped to carry any load that you're carrying. Another very important thing is to maintain a straight back. If you scoop over, if you arch your back like this, then as you've seen in the video, most of the stress is on the lower back, and this might cause pain in the lower back. Another very important issue is to keep the child or the object that you're lifting very close to you. The more distant the child is, then more pressure is put on your back, and this may cause back pain. Another very important point is to avoid twisting of the back. If you lift your child from the bed and you want to put her on the dresser, the best thing to do is to pivot with the legs. Okay, so you lift the child up, you turn around with the legs, and then you put the child down. You don't twist with your back, because this is very dangerous for your back. So now we've talked about, let's say, regular lifting of your child. What happens if you're very small or the child is very heavy? So the thing to do is to use a hoist if possible. At this picture you see a sitting hoist, but using a floor hoist is it gives you the same protection. It only takes more room in the apartment. The second thing to do is to plan the move. Okay, don't carry your child if the floor is wet. Don't wear socks when you move the child, because you might slip. And look around and see that there are no objects on the floor. If there are objects on the floor, as you can see in this picture, you might fall over, and then two things can happen. Either you fall and this may harm you and the child, or another bad thing is that you tumble across something on the floor, and in order to prevent yourself from falling, your trunk muscles or your back muscles are working very hard to prevent the fall, and then you might hurt your back muscles. If the child is very heavy, then always ask somebody, and you don't have a hoist, then you can always ask another person for help. And when you do that, don't forget that one of the person doing the lifting should be the leader, and this person leading the lift should say ready, set, go, so both people can work as one unit and preserve their backs. In this part of the presentation, I've just put some relevant links that you can watch on your free time, and all those links are showing you hints on how to keep your body straight without injuring your back. So today you will see three girls. We're going to see Macy, Lexi, and Daphne. Okay, and let's start with Macy. Okay, so I would like to present Macy to you. Macy is 5 years old. She can weight bear when completely supported by a standing frame, and she doesn't walk. She likes a lot of activity and quick uplifting movements. And the goals, her physical therapy goals are stretching of upper and lower extremities, maintain quadruped position, maintain anterior pelvic tilt, and participate in upright position in a ceiling hammock. And the challenges that parents of Macy ask for are her height. She's so long, it's tough to move her. So when we talk about protecting Macy's parents, then actually everything that we talked about in this presentation so far is what they need to do. They need to maintain correct lifting suggestions, use a hoist if possible, or use two people to do the transfer. Another thing that Macy's mother talked about was side sitting to the right. It hurts. So I suggest keep doing side sitting, and you can have a pillow under her butt, so then the side sitting is not as stressful as it is without the pillow under the butt. And you can use motivational factors or distractors when she's sitting in an uncomfortable position. This is true for every girl with Rett syndrome. And another issue that was raised by Macy's mother is that she has fear of movement. So I suggested to them that to make a daily dance program or use the APSI. So we're going to see the second girl is going to show us how they use the APSI at home. So we're going to skip that and just talk about the daily dance program. So if your child does not like movement and is very afraid of movement, so that you can do a dance program with your child, and you can do it in many ways. For instance, you can dance with the child inside the stroller, okay? Put some music on that the child likes, and then you can move the stroller from side to side and start with very slow movement, but gradually make the movement faster and the music faster and louder, so the dance becomes more prominent. Another thing is make dance party involving other family members in the house, because we know girls with Rett syndrome are very social girls, and they like their peers. So if you involve other people, then it becomes really something that the child would like to take part of. You can jump the child with Rett syndrome on your knees, facing you, so you can enjoy the intimacy, or with the back to you, both of you in front of the television, so you can jump. Both of you can look at the television and watch the video that the child likes and dance to the music, okay? It could be sitting on the edge of the table. You can put the child at the edge of the table, and then you can hold her pelvis or her shoulders or her arms. It depends on how much the child is willing to move and how fast and how freely she's willing to move. And then you can dance while the child is sitting on the table. You can get the child's hands and then dance together. It could be facing one another, or if both you and the child are in front of the television watching the movement on the television and dancing together. This is Macy, by the way, dancing while in the ceiling hoist. So this is another way. The child is in the hoist, she's fully protected, she's fully safe, but then you can put music on and get a lot of movement with the child. When the child is in the walking frame, you can move the child from side to side, front and back. You can do some heavy stepping and a lot of movement. Or, as I've said, you can use the APSI, and we're going to see Lexi using the APSI as the second child that will be watching today. Another thing that, so we talked about fear of movement, side sitting, and the weight of Macy. And so I suggested to the mothers some simple activities that she can do with Macy, as Macy is very hypotonic and is showing a hard time holding her body straight. So we're going to see Macy sitting in a box with toys, standing in front of and sitting on a stool, and in all 4 positions. But before we see Macy, I wanted to show you, this is something that you can do, okay, with a child who has very little control over her trunk. Then she can sit in a box with a lot of toys that make noise or are very flashy, or making all kinds of lights, and she can sit inside the box playing. This is good for hand function, but also the child can practice her balance abilities within a very stable place, okay? She can be in all 4 positions, and we're going to see Macy do it. She can be knee standing. This is Macy again, knee standing behind a stool or a sofa. She can stand watching television behind the wall, or it could be again behind the sofa, or anything according to the height of the child and her control. And she could be standing with the back against the wall. This is a child without any pedi wrap or knee mobilizers, or you can use this pedi wrap thing. It's also called knee mobilizers. And this is a child standing with knee mobilizers with the back to the couch, so actually her trunk is in the air and she's controlling it. So we're going to go now to So now we're going to see Samantha and Macy. Hi, Samantha. Hi. So this is, as you can see, this is Samantha and Macy. And Macy is now sitting in this box with toys, so she can play. So of course you should put all kinds of shiny things or things with fur on them that she likes to touch, or things that make music, or maybe a doll that she really likes. So she's sitting in this box and she can use her hands, and when she's trying to touch something and to play, her body is moving, and then she has to move it here and again and to all sides. So she's actually working inside this box. And another position that I suggested to use with Macy is sitting on a stool. And you can see and you can see Macy sitting on a stool. The stool is they're also using this triangle cushion. So this actually causes her back. This actually causes her to sit straight. And of course, we use the motivational factor. So you can see that Macy is sitting straight and holding her back. And another way to use the same stool is by putting Macy in all fours position. And when she's in all fours position, again, her body is supported by the stool. And because the video is in front and she wants to watch it, then she will actually work with the back muscles. And you can tap her back a little. You have voice on the video? Because we don't hear it. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Probably at the beginning, a child who can't work with the back muscles or have very weak trunk muscles will have a hard time in this position. But with some daily training, she will become stronger and stronger and can do the exercises and maybe improve. So this is another exercise that Samantha is doing with Macy. It can also be done with we're not going to put them now, but it can also be done with the elbow splints. So she can be on the palms of the hands and with the back straight. Okay, so we'll now move to Lexi.
Sam and Macy, thank you so much for being with us. Meir, while we were waiting, sweet Lexi fell asleep.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if you'd like to talk a little bit about her situation, or Lacey, if you're ready, we can go ahead and work with Lacey and Daphne, whichever you'd prefer, and then maybe we can come back.
So just 2 or 3 minutes about Lexi. So Lexi is 4 years old. She uses a wheelchair. She refuses to walk due to frequent episodes of dystonia. She independently transits from lying on the back to sitting, independently transits from belly to hands and knees, maintains hands and knees position briefly. When standing, she requires maximum assistance. And when walking, the left knee is hyperextended and decreased stride length of the right leg. So physical...
If you have slides, we're not seeing them. If you don't have slides, that's okay.
No. I'm kind of out of the... Okay.
Perfect, there we go.
Okay, so Lexi's physical therapy goals are to independently stand for 20 seconds. So one of the independently stand for 20 seconds. So one thing that can be used is knee mobilizers, or they're also called pedi wraps, and to use splint standing frame for, as you can see in this picture. The way to use them is to take large splints that people have finished using and to attach them to a wooden board, and then the child can stand and watch videos or stuff that she likes. Another thing is to, another goal, physical therapy goal for Lexi is walk with two-hand assistance for 50 feet. So trunk assist is okay. She can use the APSI for dancing, walking, and stair climbing. So this is we were supposed to see Lexi using the APSI. So maybe she will wake up later and we can see it. If not, then we'll go to Daphne. Okay, so we're going to see now Daphne. Daphne is 3 years old and 8 months. Her general level of motor skills is she uses wheelchair only. She can weight bear with assistance for balance. She can sit up on her own and walks with a lot of assistance in a gait trainer. She's usually calm and content. And the physiotherapy goals for Daphne are keep walking with assistance with a gait trainer, stand against a wall with assistant at thigh level, and stand up at an all-four position. One challenge a few challenges that her mother was talking about is that Daphne is sitting towards the right side. So if we do side sitting on a wedge with the side sitting with the knees to the right, then she will bend the trunk to the left. Also, as you can see, we put here a motivating factor on the left leg, so she's actually tilting very strongly to the left against her natural tendency. Another challenge that her mother was talking about is that Daphne is not sitting up straight. So again, as we saw in Macy's situation, if you use a wedge and Daphne is sitting with her front to the lower part of the wedge, then her back muscles are going to be activated and she is going to sit up straight. And another challenge that reported by Daphne's mother was that she was not progressing in walking. So I suggested to them to add rubber bands and of course use motivational factors with Daphne. For instance, here you see this is a girl in a walking frame, and the arrows are pointing to the rubber bands that I have attached. The thing is that when the child is taking a step forward, she's actually pulling the whole walker behind her, and actually also doing a small stretch to the other leg, so this other leg can start working. And the rubber bands are also used for another purpose, because most girls with Rett syndrome, if you put them in a walker, they will actually lean backwards and let the legs lean forward. So this is not a very active position. So the rubber bands actually also take the legs backwards and put the child in this forward leaning position, which is a position that is much more encouraging walking and activity. And here I put in the presentation some useful links, how you can get pedi wraps and knee mobilizers, and where you can get how you can get the APSI. So stop the share and let's go to see Daphne and her mother or father, Daphne and her parents using the gait trainer.
Okay. Please see if, oh, there we go.
Okay, we're here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, are you ready to see Daph?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Daph.
So actually, for some girls with Rett syndrome, the walker can actually be used as a standing frame as well. If you put on the brakes, then the child can actually stand watching television. So it can be used as a standing frame. If you only have a walker, it doesn't mean that the child can't stand for long durations by using the walker with brakes on. But of course, this is the purpose of the walker is to get the child walking. So as I've said, using rubber bands from behind puts the child in this forward leaning position, and it's more active than with the legs leaning forward and the child leaning backwards. So we're going to see Daphne taking a few steps, and can you show us how Daphne is walking? And what I suggested to Daphne and her family is also nice, Daphne. Oh, great. Great, Daphne.
Best she's done all week.
Yeah. Keep walking, Daphne. We're waiting for you.
Good job, sweetheart. Look at you.
Hang on, I'm on the screen.
Get in there.
Hang on. We got this.
Another suggestion that I suggested to Daphne and her family is to have the tablet. What you can do is instead of driving straight ahead, to drive a little to the right and a little to the left. So when you want the right leg to move, then if you can move her forward and to the left, it's like doing, it's kind of making weight shifts, because when we walk, I see that we've lost Daphne.
You're doing so good.
You were walking great, Daphne. You were great. You were walking amazing. You're walking amazingly. The whole world saw how you were walking. It was great. Daphne, Daphne.
You're doing so good, honey.
So one way of walking is, instead of pulling her completely forward, is to do kind of forward and to the left. So forward and to the right. So the left leg is moving, and then forward and to the left. So the right leg is moving. So you, instead of just going forward, to do kind of weight shifts with Daphne. And another thing that I suggested to the family is to have the tablet like in front of her, playing a video and covered with a towel or something. So Daphne needs to go forward and move the towel. And then you gradually take her backwards and backwards. So she has to do 0.5 meter, 1 meter, and stuff like that. I think we lost Daphne as well. Thank you, Lacey. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Lacey, can I, real quick, can I ask
Yeah.
you a question? We have a question specifically for you that I don't know if Meir knows the answer to. Someone was asking what brand of walker.
She
It's a Rift. I think it's a Rifton walker. No, the gay trainer is by Rifton.
it's a Rifton Pacer.
The Rifton Pacer. Okay.
Yes.
That's what the audience was speculating. People were weighing in on it. So thank you.
Yeah, no, Rifton Pacer, and the size goes by color, I believe. She has the blue one. So
Perfect. Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I think this concludes our meeting for today. I hope you learned the ways to activate your child while keeping your back safe. And do you have some time? Do you have some questions that you would like me to answer, or we are out of time already?
You know what? I think we're right at the hour, Meir, but we do have 1 or 2 good questions if you
Okay.
have the time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm not going anywhere. I think I'll stay at home tonight, or for the rest of the month. Or
Yeah, I think I'm going to as well. So we can stay on all.
So do you have any questions to pass the time, please?
Okay, excellent. All right, so one of the questions we have is a parent who said that her daughter, who's 4 years old, has a C-curve scoliosis and right hip dysplasia at about 50%. They use the wedge and the Z position, but they were recently advised that the Z position is not good anymore for her hip.
The Z position?
Yeah, so
No,
they're saying that she
I
has,
don't know. I'm not familiar with the term Z position.
I think that side position that you,
Side sitting.
yeah.
Okay. You know something? I actually have a program for girls with Rett syndrome with displaced or subluxated hips, not displaced, subluxated. Like if they're saying 30 degrees, 30%, it means that it's not subluxated, dislocated, but subluxated. So maybe we will start our next meeting by talking about a program for subluxated hip instead of just, I will say a few words, but it needs more than a few words to describe the problem and then the solution for such a problem.
Okay, I think that's a great idea. And we have some questions from parents about how to do some of these things with adults. So I'll give a sneak preview that in 2 weeks' time, we'll be meeting again where you're going to be meeting with some families whose children are in their 20s and 30s and 40s. So perhaps we can, in the interest of time, we can hold those questions as well and let them know that we'll be doing some live demonstrations with our adults with Rett syndrome.
Okay. I can present the findings from the research we did in Sicily, where the mean age of the participating girls were over 20. So, and we got some very nice results. So I think you can have girls at any age gain from a program.
I agree. You shared that with us last time we spoke, and it's so encouraging. And I absolutely agree that the lifetime learning is possible, physically, cognitively, hand skills. We saw some beautiful video from Teresa Bartolotta on Monday with her communication skills and her daughter Lisa reaching and touching her iPad, which was not something she could do when she was younger, but she can do that now that she's an adult. So I think these are great messages.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Meir. Well, what we'll do is we'll be sure to get the questions that were asked in the queue over to you, but I think that you were so comprehensive today that most people are just inspired by your knowledge, your work, and we are so grateful for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for arranging all this, Paige.
We're so grateful. We are all in this together. So thank you again. We'll send you any questions. So for our audience who joined late and maybe missed some part of the early part of the session today, it is recorded. You can go back and watch it. You can replay. If you have questions that come up as you watch the replay, go ahead and type them into the Facebook feed and we'll get the questions over to Dr. Lotan and get your answers for you, okay? We promise that over the next several weeks, we'll continue to utilize our network of experts and our virtual platforms to continue providing you outlets of support for home enrichment activities that will help you, your child, and siblings come together and provide continuity of care and empowerment that will be very critical to everyone's mental, emotional, and physical health while we comply with stay-at-home mandates. So if you found these resources valuable, please consider giving a gift, $10 or $20 if you can. Donate on our Facebook page, on our website. You can text Rett 2020, all one word, RETT 2020 to this number 41444. 41444. We appreciate that. So next week on Thursday at the same time, we will bring more at-home physical activities with Dr. Meir Lotan via Facebook Live. It'll be at the same time. We'll be meeting with some U.S. families with children who are older than Macy and Daphne and Sweet Lexi. And we'll meet these families whose children are older, they're young teens, and they have a spectrum of physical abilities. So we think that you'll gain some new insights and hope you'll join us next week. We'd like to remind you that the newly published Rett Syndrome Communications Guidelines book was released on Friday. Two of the authors joined us this past Monday on Facebook Live, and you can watch that recording on Facebook. We're also getting that converted to YouTube, and we'll be sharing that link so that you can send the links for Dr. Lotan's sessions, the communication sessions, to your educators and therapists. We know that many of them are communicating with you by email at this time, and if you share these resources with them, I'm sure that they'll get some creative ideas on how to create some new goals for you when life returns to normal, which we know that it will. So for the Communication Guidelines book, Section 4 is available for free download, and these are some great things that you can put into practice while you're at home now. You can also purchase the book on the website. It's only $10. It's orderable. Section 4 is available for free download, And, you know, things are taking a little bit longer these days for fulfillment and shipping, but eventually that wonderful guidebook will get to you. We're working with our international partners on translations. So hopefully if you're in another country, your Rett Syndrome Association will be working on getting this guidebook translated for you. We know that, as with communication, physical therapy and occupational therapy are important lifelong work. Progress may take time, but it is possible. So be patient and don't give up. Our children do have a lot to say. They have a lot that they can do. And we know these guidelines and resources will help guide your process. So thanks for taking advantage of them. Share them with your educators and therapists, and modify your goals. Always stretch and reach. In closing today, I want to thank Dr. Lotan, Sam and Macy, Lacey and Daphne. Sorry, Sam and Macy. We've got too many Macys and Lacey's out there. Caitlin and Lexi, be well. Sweet Lexi, have a good nap. We understand completely, and we invite you to join us again another time. Thank you for welcoming us into your homes. We know it's a big ask at this time to be camera ready, but you did a great job and you've helped so many. We hope you learned some things from your time with Dr. Lotan and that you benefited from his wisdom while letting us learn from your children. So we wish you all good luck, and Dr. Lotan, have a nice evening. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Everyone, protect your back, and we will talk to you again soon. Thank you.